Want to do the show or no?
Uh-oh. By the time we actually get around to doing a show, I might forget
what?
everything I heard today.
What's that? Oh, this? Oh, the entrance to the show? Yeah. That's fine, whatever. I don't have to pay anybody. Good.
Nice.
And High Time We Talk. Welcome to High Time We Talk.
Nice.
I mean, I don't want to really put our friend down because I don't think that his job is to actually do that, what I just said. I think it's more clinical. Teaching how to make sure when trauma comes in, we get that all down. But it's not about like, you know, there's somebody sitting in front of me sick and let me think.
And I mean, yes, to an extent, when we have our issues with that industry, we really have our issues with the administration of the industry. We almost do treat healthcare like you treat a hostile country, you know. Only the government is hostile to you. The people are just fine. And we kind of do tend to do that. I know I do. The whole healthcare industry. No, the administration portion of the healthcare industry.
Many times I've
the people that who are in the trenches, and even to, in all fairness, to the lack of bedside manner and what have you. I mean, they're kind of forced by the way they're forced to do business. Think about it. Doctor can't get as close to a patient as they used to for fear that any wrong move brings up malpractice.
Unless you actually kill someone by mistake. They all cover for each other. I mean, like, they do funky shit all the time. And they really keep moving. I don't think
that's kind of more upward towards the I mean, sure, there's a few stiff doctors, a few doctors that are out there working beyond their years, or a few doctors working when they should be taking time off. Right. Again, there are people who their intention is well, I guess is what I'm saying. Gonna get brain cancer, boy. The guest is approaching. The guest is approaching. The guest is approaching. Hide the guitars.
Clarabelle out there? Oh, barred animals there.
Clarence is my pick. My pick of the urchins. He's like
You've adopted him.
Yeah. I give him
an adoptee.
You know why I adopted him? Well, I'm going to leave this on the show.
You know
why I adopted him? Because he comes in looking for food, not for money.
Really?
Yeah.
And what's an adoption?
One time he was out, my uncle was in the parking lot, he said, "Hey mister, you got 35 cents so I can go get some food?" And he said, "No, I don't, but I got some candy." He said, "The candy's better than the corn." Put out his hands, my uncle loaded him up with candy.
Clarence don't drink.
Yeah.
He doesn't.
Yeah.
Does he smoke stuff?
Everything. He does everything. And I found out he's a vet, too.
He's a veterinarian?
Yeah. He was discharged in 95.
Really?
So if he saw any service, it would have been in the first or that war. The guest has arrived. The guest has arrived. The guest has arrived. It's going to get all fucking serious now. No more goofing around. No more listening to horse heads. No, gorilla mask.
Yeah.
You want to hear something funny, though? Want to hear something funny?
Look at the fucking lips on her. Look how big her mouth is. That's great. I can fit in there.
This is an old show.
Huh? Look at that
actually
shit. I love a chick with a lot of hair, too. I hate that fucking short-haired one. But I like when you just grab a bunch of shit. Wrap your fucking hand around it. I like that shit. You can wrap your fucking, grab it and wrap a little bit, get a good fucking hold on it.
Which one do you have? The president of
Get your fucking hand on their hair and then put your foot up on something.
What's her name?
I like that shit.
Christina Fernandez.
Yes. Wow, that was
She's showing her age.
Page one, bottom.
I'm the Russian.
Yeah, where is your Russian?
I left it in car.
Did you hear Crimea voted to rejoin Russia and secede from the Ukraine?
Yeah, I got a 90% pound. Yeah, I mean, it's Mother Russia. Mother.
Did you hear what else happened?
Mother when there's
Still a country.
Did you hear what else happened?
No.
Putin said, continue to fuck around with these douchebag sanctions, and I will base my economy around another form of currency as a world currency.
They're asking for trouble.
Do you know how disastrous that would be if Russia
I put some stuff together yesterday by doing a little bit of
and Russia and China kind of slapped around each other this
because
week?
I
and
listened to
forgot
two
what
sides of the aisle to see what was going on, and the George Soros, the banker guy who basically bankrolls the EU.
George Soros and the
He came
DC
up-
destroyers.
George Soros, what a great name.
Yeah.
And the DC destroyers. Perfect. Anyway, his statement today on Drudge was, he said, well, this whole scenario over there in Ukraine is bad for the European Union. It could be devastating. Possibly cost us the Union. In other words, they had bled every other country dry.
They're dying.
Yeah.
Well, they
so
were
now
basing
they had
Ukraine
found
as-
a new place to bleed.
They were basing
And-
the Ukraine as an energy partner. You know, they don't really have an energy producing partner. The U.S.
Probably,
The U.S. has got all its hooks in the Middle East, and the EU kind of rides on those coattails.
Yeah.
China's swamped in with Brazil.
Plus, there's money there in food. The breadbasket of Europe is Europe.
Speaking of energy,
But
you know
That
what?
was a big,
That's a big blow.
yeah, that's a big blow to him. And like, at first I was like, why would we screw around?
I know.
Egypt's easy.
It's a big smack to the one world
Egypt
order.
fell
too.
quick. Yeah. Egypt fell quick. Iraq was nothing. Afghanistan was a walk into nothing.
Libya, by
On everything.
by the by.
Syria, as soon as Putin stepped up, they didn't Syria. No, you're not thinking no, and after. Then China goes, yep, we're going to do that. So once when Putin speaks and China gives them the nod, there's nothing the EU can do. Because those two, they'll devastate this planet.
Yeah, but China don't.
They may devastate their own
China and
country,
Russia
but we're gone
don't.
too. It's all, you know.
China and Russia are
It's
two
what they call
different
mad,
worlds. They
mutual
don't always
assured destruction.
agree.
They don't always agree.
No, as a matter of fact, culturally,
You know, China has its testicles all over the world too, in everything, especially in our business. Of course,
well, I
They
wouldn't.
got their dollar all over the world. China has got their dollar all over the world. They control
And their products.
financially.
And that goes back to what I'm saying. If
But
those,
China the other day at that vote there at the what do they call it, the UN,
yeah,
they're a major voting partner like Russia. Russia said no, U.S. said yes, and China abstained. They
yeah,
didn't want to get in the middle of this yet.
yeah.
My original statement about this hasn't changed since the first day I heard about it. Putin will not ever let go of the Ukraine. Ever.
Well,
No,
not-
he's taken
not so
all
much
of
the
the
Ukraine
former Union
as the
back
Crimea.
piece by piece.
Crimea's already got. He's already got.
I know he's got a
He ain't
base
letting
there,
go
but
of
like
it.
they want
He's waiting till
the
somebody.
Kerry demands and all this. They want the Crimea, him to evacuate that. Are they out of their minds? He's not
The
going to ever
Naval
do
Air
that.
Station at Sevastopol sends world. They've got
He may do
T-95
business
space there
with,
that can
the other
reach
side,
the
Kiev.
entire
He'll
world.
go. He'll take
Or maybe
all
he'll
the,
take it over. I
he'll
don't
take
really
all
know.
the time that they give him. In other words, he's never going to fire the first shot. And if they give him 2 years while they're jerking around, still talking, he'll take the 2 years to build up. He's never going to fire the first shot. He's never going to push anybody to do anything. He took the Ukraine because they want to be part of Russia. They are part of Russia. I mean, Crimea. He took Crimea because he didn't have to take it. They said, please, get us away from the EU, protect us
Right,
from the
yeah.
EU. Now, the Ukraine, they're painting it in our country like they don't want to be part of Russia. And I'm sure there's a big population of modern fucking metrosexuals that don't want to be part of Russia.
That's what
But
they
it
are.
doesn't make any difference because historically they are part of Russia. And
I wouldn't
historically-
want to be any part of Russia.
I would.
No, you
I
don't
would-
understand.
See how
Russia's
dangerous charisma is?
Huh?
Yeah.
It's sucking you in. You're
It
being
is.
sucked
You
in
really
by
are.
Putin's personal charisma.
You can't. You don't
You're being
understand.
sucked in right into the gulag.
And he would know because he was a spy over there.
It's not. I'm
Not a
not.
spy, but he.
It's really a testament to Putin.
It
what
is.
it
It's
is.
no fucking different than anywhere else.
No, it is what.
It's
No,
just
it
got a
is
worse
worse.
history.
You gotta listen to
It's
it.
got a worse history, that's all. I'm sure I know all about Stalin.
What?
I have to be told.
No,
I know what
no,
you're
no,
saying,
not Stalin.
Tony.
We're
This is what
talking
Tony
now.
might be saying. That they're rising into freedom and free markets and stuff while we're falling, and I get that part.
When our famous camps
I
start
understand
getting filled
that.
up, we'll have far more people than me.
But we are not done yet. We're not out of the game yet.
No, but the camps are built.
still
railway.
people like, there's still Texas, there's Georgia.
But-
I seen this show the other day. It was on Discovery Channel. They were down in the swamps, Louisiana, and there's something they've been killing cattle and even killed a couple people. They went to check these guys, one cop, he could keep out all this stuff, and the cop pulls up, the state cop, and he gets out. One guy goes, hey, anybody here? Hey. Couldn't get behind the gate. I mean, no trespassing, keep out, blah, blah, blah. All of a sudden, some guy comes out, he's near a barrel, goes, yeah, can I help you? Guy goes, yeah, we're just trying to tell you that there's some cattle in the farm next door been killed, and if you're out in the woods, be careful, because we've got some traps set up there, because we think it's a good-sized bear, so just be careful. All of a sudden, 4 guys appear with guns. Why you bothering my brother? You bothering my brother for?
Talking to the cop?
Yeah. What are you bothering for? 4 guys with guns. That's America still. It's not everywhere. You just happen to live in a place where that doesn't happen anymore, but it's still out there, you know? Because some states and a lot of peoples, and especially in New England, giving up their rights doesn't mean the whole country has that. You can still move into a place that you'd be very proud of and more prouder than Putin. Believe it or not.
Yeah,
It's still America.
I tell you, Russia's been a country for a long, long time. For 1,000 years. In my book, I want them to continue. I want them to thrive. I don't want Russia to be taken over by the EU. I don't want Russia to be
Nobody
taken over
does.
by us.
I
Especially
harbor
Russia, I
them
think.
no ill will or
No.
anything. But
I have
what
respect for them.
what I'm
I
saying,
have respect.
the whole point I'm making is
You can't go
that
get
the
a gun in
effect
Russia.
of a very charismatic leader.
You can't.
He's fucking up there.
Huh?
He's fucking up there.
I'm
No.
just telling you. You
No.
can't, you know. What I'm about to go do, you can't do in Russia, right, Tom?
Remember, in
I don't-
different.
Do we know?
I-
Or is everybody part of
No,
the
I do
fucking
know because I did.
reserves?
I read about the history. Of
No, you can't. You can't own a gun.
In the early 19, I think
Legal.
30s or 40s, they had the czars that were in control of Russia. And something called the White Hats.
We're gone a long
No,
time.
the czars gave them gun rights, and the czars were actually good to the Russian people, from what I
The
understand.
czars
That's
were
true,
gone
Tom?
by like 1917, by the Second
Yeah,
World
they
War.
were.
First World War. The czars
And then
were
after
gone.
that, Russia started.
40s. it
For
was
90
already-
years, Russia lived in a pretty bad scenario, almost like in
For
North Korea.
90 years they were communist, Soviet Union.
Yeah,
Right.
but the czars they got rid of the czars.
Well,
in fact.
Rasputin, when the Virgin Mary appeared in 1917, she said, if Rasputin is killed, then Russia will fall into 80 years she said, ungodliness, something like that. And then if Rasputin is not killed, then the czars, in other words, the Romanovs were the czars. And Rasputin was their... he was-
Yeah, and that was 1916.
16, right. And
Yeah.
Rasputin died, then the angels, Virgin Mary and St. Michael and the angels couldn't protect Russia anymore because they didn't consecrate Russia to her.
The monarchy was abolished on March 15th, 1917.
That's what
And back to
happened
the
in
point, again, that I started with is, and it has nothing to do with the politics of anything or any country, just the fact that the effect of a very charismatic head of a movement can cause people to follow an ideology that wouldn't normally follow that ideology.
That's
Charisma does do that.
That's the history of the world.
Charisma
Yeah.
is
It's
scary.
First,
Yeah, in a
that's
way,
the first
yeah.
monkey who got up in the middle of the night and took a rock and crushed his buddy's head because his buddy was smarter than him. And then, hey, when they got up in the morning, that other guy was dead. Guess what? The stupid monkey was now the smartest monkey in the tribe. Hey, that's me. That's how
But
it
you
all
know,
started.
what about when you get charisma in a good way, like with Martin Luther King? Charisma works both ways. It brought a lot of good.
Right.
Now that
Represents a
leads-
strong leader for Russia. We should be as lucky to have an American citizen who's got the fucking guts and brains that Putin has. But we could never get anybody like that.
Alan West.
He may have the brains, but he don't have the guts.
Yeah, that guy down in South Carolina. I'm gonna start keeping my eye on him. What's his name? Oh, and I don't even remember what he did. He stood up for something the other day that I was real impressed, and I said I was gonna keep my eye on him. Trey Gowdy, is that it? Trey Gowdy. Okay. Congressman Trey Gowdy, 4th District of someplace in South Carolina. And what did he do? He blasted Obama for something. His floor speech sent shockwaves through. We'll take this off Fox News. You know what I used to do that I don't do it anymore? I always did cartoon news. And I miss that. Be very, very quiet. We're going to talk about Trey Gowdy today. The vote was 233 to 181 in the Republican-led House as GOP lawmakers excoriated Obama for multiple changes to his 4-year-old health care. Yeah, he's the guy who's sponsoring a bill where if they can't hold the president or people for criminal charges, then they can hold them for civil charges. Sponsor of the Enforce the Law Act, he delivered a fiery speech and read a series of statements by Obama when he was an Illinois senator, in which he warned of the encroachment of the executive on the powers of other branches of the government.
You know, that's the smartest thing that any of the citizens can do is in groups, in class action suits, to bring charges against as many politicians as possible.
Yeah.
And no matter, regardless of how it turns out, just stop up the system, jam up the system, and start the process of what other recourse do we have.
He went on to argue that process matters in law enforcement, noting that evidence gathered with a legitimate search warrant is thrown out if an officer so much as accidentally checks the wrong box on the application. Even though he was well-intentioned and he had good motivations, even though he got the evidence, because process matters. We all swore allegiance to the same document that the president swears allegiance to faithfully execute the law. If a president does not faithfully execute the law, what are our remedies? He argued that Congress should do exactly what then Senator Obama suggested before he was president of the United States. Go to the Supreme Court, have the Supreme Court say once and for all, we don't pass suggestions in this body, we don't pass ideas, we pass laws, and we expect them to be faithfully executed. So this is a guy to keep your eye on. He looks like
the only course of action that people can do.
He looks like a kind of a young guy, born in '64. So he's going to be on the scene for a while. He looks like he's making a name for himself now. Been in office since 2011. Harold Watson Gowdy III. All right, this is Wikipedia now. I'm giving you information. He was a Southern Baptist lawyer.
Who the hell you?
Trey Gowdy?
What I'm talking about is the trend in what people should do. Is just bring charges against the government.
Yeah, and that's what his thing was doing.
And
You heard about Wolf? We listened to yesterday. Wolfgang MS. Where are we from? Florida.
Yeah.
This guy, he's coming up from Florida. He's going to sue the government on state of Connecticut.
He's a state police investigator. Okay, the guy's now a private eye.
Yeah.
He's investigating.
You know what else I found out he was?
And he says
he's a FEMA director. He directs FEMA's like emergency response to shit. So when he was watching the Sandy Hook shit unfold on TV, he's going, that's not protocol.
Right. In other words, they never brought in helicopters.
They never brought in medevac helicopters.
But the fucking...
You know what they brought in? You got to tell them.
Right.
They brought in...
This is the director of the... There's a chief of every crime scene.
Yeah.
He's a FEMA cleared chief of every scene. They said, on this site, this guy didn't even bother to bring in fucking helicopters to medevac little kids. He made the assumption, with his great intellect, that the most important thing he could do was order porta potties.
All right. And the guy from FEMA goes, isn't that wonderful? We have porta potties in a mass killing.
In other words, there's no way that this wasn't an op. It was an op. They might have killed a couple people.
He told,
but they might not have killed.
This was 3 years in planning. He tracked the people involved here. They had all just moved into town only 3 years ago.
The only reason this is going against him, because he's a FEMA and a state police guy, blah, 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 nobody would go against the system, all right? but he's not from the United States of America.
You know why? Because
He was brought up in Nazi
system is
Germany.
now
He was a child in Nazi Germany.
against truth.
So he doesn't give a fuck. We're all us. We're all willing to say, oh, you mean it's the New World Order and this is what we got to do to get a paycheck? Okay, I'll keep my mouth shut. But he won't. Because he's not a fucking pussy-ass motherfucking American douchebag. He already knows what the end of a fucking era of Hitler looks like. Because that's what he was a little kid in. Germany after the war. He didn't want to be in Germany after the war.
Suffering succotash.
So there you go, Tony. I mean,
Yeah, and I know a guy that I play with is a trumpet player.
and I got a story too.
He's a
Right up.
detective for Middletown Police Department, and his boss went to Middletown, and he came back, and all that. My friend said is he was shattered, he was blown away. He couldn't even fucking function. The guy was like he saw a ghost, right? So he thinks it's real.
Bob, our friend musician, he was down in. He had to go to the funeral because his kid got killed at this thing. And Harry, they used to play in a band with this Harry Connick Jr., you know that guy?
Yeah.
Bob knows him through this other guy, but this guy, kid got killed. Harry Connick Jr., I guess they were musicians, so he knew. So Harry Connick Jr. came to the funeral to sing for the buried children at the funeral.
So
Harry Connick
supposedly there's a
Jr.
real
sang
kid
it.
that got killed.
Yeah. And I said to Bob, I said, you know what? I'd love to talk to your friend. I mean, I know that's.
So they must have killed a couple people, but they might not have. I mean, you didn't see a body.
Well,
You know,
what would a guy lie like that for? If you had a friend with a kid and he died in a scenario, you'd be like, well, that happened. How could it not have happened?
You don't know who he works
Unless the
for.
kid's a Malaysian
It was a-
777.
It was a CIA town.
You know,
All
how
these
can he
people
just disappear?
moved in from other parts of the country who were agents. The kids were agents. And many of the kids who died didn't die because there's pictures of them 2 years later. So maybe somebody died, but I think, like we were saying, for a captain of detectives to come back from a crime scene blown away, what are the chances of that? But if he went to a crime scene and a FEMA guy said to him, look, this is all bullshit. We staged the whole fucking thing. And if you say one fucking word about it, your wife is taking a fucking ride off a fucking ravine, all right? And your kid's never going to come home either. That would make Captain of Detectives hang his fucking head with his mouth fucking open. That would make him come back looking like something real happened. But a crime scene wouldn't make him come back.
Well,
blown
what's
away.
to say they didn't massacre a whole bunch of children just in order to get rid of one select sleeper agent that they wanted to pin
Right,
this whole
they could have
thing
killed a
on?
couple. They could have
A
killed
sleeper who was
half.
gone awry, or a potential sleeper that was being groomed.
It was working. There was no stopping something that wasn't working. This was a carry through of a very
No,
poorly
see,
thought out-
you're getting me all wrong. What if this kid, Adam Lanza,
Yeah.
was being groomed to be a sleeper agent? They saw through their psychological testing he wasn't going to make it. He was going to be a loose cannon. Let's get rid of
You
him
ever seen
now.
pictures of this guy?
He knew too much. They don't take fucking Stallones and Schwarzeneggers. That's not what they look
This
for.
guy looks like Sloan would be walking him on a leash.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want in a sleeper agent.
So they
What if he
decided,
was
well,
being
let's use him
groomed?
for let's do
Now
an experiment.
let's get a step more nefarious. What if he didn't even know he was being groomed, but he was being groomed through video games?
He was being
and he was
exactly.
being programmed.
Exactly.
They saw through the
There's a whole
psychological
generation
testing,
of
their
those.
programming wasn't work. They pushed a button, made him go cuckoo, just so they could
That's
get
what
rid of
they
him.
do.
The innocent
Wait a minute, before we
the
go
innocent
anywhere-
children are all collateral
Before we
damage.
go anywhere, let's take a vicious left, and let's go left with this whole theory down this rabbit hole. You guys don't want to go down.
I'll
What
go
if-
down.
Okay, you want to come? Come on down. Come on in. with me.
Wait, is it a pink hole?
It could be now, son. No, what it is this. We're going left now, okay? Swing left down into the rabbit hole.
Sideways.
What if Adam Lanza was being sexually molested by high-level people in government, in politics, in business, and was connected to other children because he was like the guy who went to get other kids for them to do their thing with.
That's,
Told you he didn't want to go down this
Yeah,
rabbit
but
hole.
That probably is true, but that's just
True.
a side point.
Wait, we're in a
Yeah.
rabbit hole. Is
How
that
about-
true?
How about the guy with the
With
gingerbread
rabbit
house?
hunters up there, you're going to look.
My
up-
scenario
How about
makes
the guy
a
with the
better
gingerbread
movie.
house there?
Yeah,
The
that's
children.
what this.
The children.
You're connecting some
The
dots.
children, they were so
Why would they
happy.
ask this guy? Why would he go along with it if he
I
didn't
went
get a
up.
piece of tail at the end as a gift?
talk
A
to
lovely
the
parting
children.
gift, little Johnny.
But the children ran away.
My scenario makes a better movie.
It does, but my scenario makes a better truth.
Either way,
Yeah, but
if
don't
we had a guy like Putin as president of the United States,
You're gonna say
we'd be in much better shape.
He would be knocking on that guy in
Fucking-
Connecticut's door with in a loincloth with a
See, but
knife in his mouth.
Right.
Come here.
I want to
Right.
chip. I want to chip back.
Right. Sometimes he
wanna
was
chip
Carve that guy up, hang on
He
a
do his
tree.
own black ops shit himself sometimes.
Yeah.
That's a leader. Okay? Fucking wetsuit out through the Connecticut River over to the other side.
Sarah
Where's
Palin's
the
got as
president?
much balls
Hey,
as
he's on
Putin
assignment
does.
this morning.
I wouldn't want to tangle
Sarah
with
Palin?
Yeah.
She'd shoot you from a helicopter.
Yeah,
She scares me.
exactly. I'd say she's
I
got.
wouldn't fist
She's
fight.
hot though. You get
She's
this.
hot,
You
but
die
she's
with a hard
dangerous.
on, okay?
She's dangerous.
That's your
what
motto.
Putin is.
You die with a hard on.
That's what a leader has to be.
She doesn't have the charisma he has.
I don't know.
No,
I
she.
don't know.
She's as much of a divider as she is with the people that follow. She has charisma, not enough to be on the level of Putin. Not enough. But I want to go back to my theory there about that. And
They both
pick-
reference bears.
I want to pick at a different point, though.
They both
You think
reference
about
fighting
it.
bears.
Programming young future
Oh, they
sleeper
do. You're
agents
absolutely right. That's what these
through
people
games
are.
like Call
They
of
don't know
Duty.
they're being brainwashed.
The ones, those
They push
games,
the button
and how
whenever
do you
they
know
want.
those games don't have, even
They
for
do.
non-programming purposes, subconscious
They do.
signaling
Damn
that
right.
addicts you to that.
That's right.
It's
Keep
now
it
developed by
declassified,
the
but
Army.
DARPA said in 91
And
they
they're
wanted
all-
to have everyone
and
in
they're
the
all-
United States chipped by 2025.
And
Not
purpose-
everyone chipped.
Who said that?
Purposely for
DARPA,
that
the DARPA
reason.
program.
Oh, they're the ones who are actually doing it.
They're the ones behind it. Yeah, it's been in vogue now
Right.
for 30 years, 40 years. You can read about DARPA. It's like
Shit.
some directive,
It's
black optional CIA directive of some
It's
type.
Defense Advanced Research Projects. It's funded
They've
by...
been wanting chips, and they're
Funded
now
by
chipping.
the
I heard they're
Department of
chipping most of the
Defense.
special ops guys, the high, you know. But there's a problem with it. Put it there,
Yeah, we'll take it out later.
You'll be able to think through it as you're
Let-
getting shot.
let's
I'm
see
not
if-
Don't
going
worry,
in there.
your head won't blow up.
Yeah, we'll blow up.
No. When you come home,
Here's
we'll
an
take it out for you.
interesting thing, being as this is
Since
an
you're bought and
informational
sold by
show.
the
Oh, I
service,
came
now
home,
the heck
but
they're
they never-
giving you.
They never took the thing out of my head. Now, every time I watch TV, sometimes they call me and they say it's time to go to...
Hello? Is anybody there? Nobody at home? Say it again.
I want to find out if the DARPA budget is classified or not.
There's no way out of this.
No,
Putin is the only hope, man.
it's open.
He's the only one.
It's open-ended.
Look at, here's a DARPA solicitations, DARPA.mil. You can submit your shit to DARPA.
Your new military's ideas.
Oh yeah, but it's a 318
I
page
think-
PDF.
Attach
And after you
electronic
fill that
tails
motherfucker
to
out,
everybody.
You're never alone.
Large monkey tail. Electronic one.
Don't you think searching Google for DARPA budget's going to set off
I
a
got my
flag
tail.
somewhere?
You?
I went down and got my tail last yesterday.
Yeah, everybody's gonna get theirs. You
It
get
didn't
mine on
hurt.
my birthday. Didn't hurt?
No.
All right.
Well,
They
hanging
don't
last
go
night.
up the house. It's right over the front of it.
No, okay.
So now if we go back to that about,
I get my tattoo on my butt after I get my tail.
if we go back to that about being like subliminally addicted.
That's a hard one to get through. That's like
Sublim-
3 syllables. in a row.
Subliminally-
Melissa Etheridge has no problem.
Subliminally addicted. Wow, subliminally.
You're absolutely
Addicted.
correct, but don't
Subliminally a
keep in
dickhead.
mind. That's what TV was in the first place. So now you got computers.
Yeah, but they didn't
it's
have-
at a whole different level.
Yeah, they didn't have the digital technology to
No, but
erase
they
those
still-
unseen,
subliminal
unheard zeros
shit goes
and
back
ones
to
by
the-
your mind.
Subliminal goes back to the
They-
40s, the 30s.
They can shoot.
Popcorn
Yeah,
and water and
Right.
it was
soda.
hokey then. It wasn't as effective.
But it,
Like I said,
But
they,
it still worked.
they can shoot a combination of zeros and ones. Who knows what digital code affects what in your brain system? They do. We don't.
That's kind of a scary thing.
They can shoot that
They
shit by
showed
your,
that
into your
MK Ultra
mind.
shit. That, you know how
I've
how it
never
actually
played a
works.
video game in my life.
Oh, see, I do all the
Never
time,
gonna
every day.
fucking play a fucking video
Every
game.
day. And that was the next thing I was going to
You
bring
play
up.
games? I don't know.
What kind of the stupid things that I play, because I don't play those like Call of Duty, I don't like those shoot
Those are
'em
the
ups.
ones.
You know, it's like I play solitaire.
That's how they got all those kids to go into the fucking service and go over to fucking Iraq. You think they would have gone otherwise? I mean, their parents were Vietnam War.
Well, yeah,
They-
I mean,
all right, the Vietnam era was some pretty serious fucking war protesting. But the next generation of fucking young kids were so incredibly stupid that it didn't take nothing. Well, I guess it was a good show. It took two buildings falling down. All right, and they swallowed that. They ate that up, and they had no problem going over.
you know, I always play that one with the sound off. Ah, that one I don't play yet. That's my war game. I play that too.
If our military is working for the United Nations, essentially, if you want to term it that way, is that patriotic? You know,
It's just water now.
No. If the
Patriotic.
military is not working for the people of the
Okay.
United States,
That's
it's
right.
not paid.
News. I got a news alert on mine, Tone.
if it's not upholding the Constitution,
You ever get one of them?
and it's actually supporting those who have rendered the Constitution meaningless. So the military of the United States is really being used against its own Constitution. I wouldn't say there's anything patriotic about being in the military. So yeah, you're wearing the flag, but you're not defending the flag. You're
See the
defending
fifth line, aren't you?
international interests. So
That's pretty.
people may want to think
Yeah.
that it's
Probably never got attacked. You never see those kids.
patriotic
I'll get that next.
I got a news alert.
because
You ever
it's
got
a
one?
big Super Bowl.
No, and I agree with you on all these points.
Yeah, me too.
I was kind of hoping to do a little bit lighter of a show. We're
Like
always
what?
so fucking depressing.
Why?
It's a fucking heavy world.
I know.
never
That's
a
why.
light day.
That's why.
There's
they
never
need-
there's never a
That's
light
why
flow day. You know what I
we're
mean?
needed to be
It's never-
light.
Why can't there be a light pad flow day?
Yeah, there's never a light flow day.
Can I ever wear a light pad?
The show we were
No,
just
there's
listening
no
to,
light
we
bulb.
had a guy. We had
Gushes.
no
I
light
gotta
fucking flow.
shove that thing in there and just hope for the
That's what
the
it's
show
all
we
about.
were just
Get anything
listening
on
to
my
had a
It's where
guy
everything comes
talking.
from, it's where everything goes to.
Right? The
What?
show we were just listening to had a guy talking about fucking abroad with a gorilla mask on, and she took
The
his
good- you're
gorilla
talking about the
mask
good
and
old
stuck
days,
it out his
Tom.
head. That wasn't so long ago. That was 2010, right around this time.
Really? Was that-
Yeah.
Oh wow. That was also Texas. You can't fuck with a gorilla mask up here in New England.
I
think
bet
it's
you there's a
been
law
out by
against
now.
it. But he said the mask was realistic, had hair and everything.
Yeah,
It
really.
wasn't just your average hocus.
Well, you could never
You know,
use that
speaking
up
of-
here.
Speaking of gorilla masks, last night
Speaking of chips,
I watched, I got both. I watched the original Planet of the Apes again. I've watched it a million times.
dirty
but-
apes.
But yes, it was so good.
Charlton.
And I mean, Nova was hot,
Heston.
right?
Charlie, that's-
When they
Charlton.
hosed her down with that hose, you were hoping that suit was going to fall
Heston.
down. Instead, you get to see Heston's
Was there any hot
naked
apes
ass.
in that film?
Charlton.
Yeah, Dr. Zero wasn't bad.
She was cool.
And you know something? You know what's funny?
Charlton.
My kids were watching it with me, and they both had to comment that it didn't look like 1968 filmmaking because the makeup stood up
Charlton.
as good
Heston.
as the computer generated shit today. And they said, you know, if they could do makeup that good that back then, it's got to be so much
Charlton.
better now. Why
Heston.
are they fooling around with computers? Why aren't they doing it? And I thought, wow.
Charlton.
I wish I'd be around to see that idea blossom into adulthood.
Damn.
They
You know
give
what I
you
mean?
a pill and you look
Nah, I'll be old and gone by then.
Stinking,
put
smelly
a chip in your brain, you have a gorilla mask.
You got a kid that's 15 years old
Don't worry, at the
now.
end of the work shift. the
You got a
gorilla
kid
will
that's 15 saying, go back to the manual way. Forget about the computers. Go back to the art of it. Of creating
Seriously, you know
makeup.
what we're going into?
a real different world.
Oh no, we're
Wow,
in
wow.
a real different world.
Yeah. But everybody's still kind of acting like the only thing that's important is whether the gays get to march in the next parade. Like, nobody really is, you know, it's not that I care if they come or not, because it doesn't make a difference to me. Well, you know what I mean? If it's a St. Patrick's Day parade, does it have to always be a celebration of people that are not heterosexual? Why is that? You know,
Well,
it
Steve,
should be a
You
celebration
really
of
just don't
green
understand
people.
today's
Are
society.
you prejudiced with the green folk?
You just don't understand that the most important thing is personal freedom.
Yeah.
Starts
No.
with that.
What I'm gonna do
Charlton,
in my effort to be a little bit lighter,
Charlton.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna play a song. This isn't a light song, but give a plug to a band that I've been listening to that I
I
like
don't
a lot.
see. I don't think there's any reason why you shouldn't be playing a tune by.
No, this is a song by a band called Buck 69. They're out of the Ohio area. A song called Hard Times. And it's not actually light.
Every highway, been down every road, tried doing things my way, but all I got was old. Been out here playing since I turned 16. Got nothing to show, no, but these tired old blue jeans. But it sure is living Texas. Tell you what I've learned. There ain't no hard times coming. Ain't no hard times coming. Ain't no hard times coming long. They're already here.
And I said that to illustrate what we were talking about. But not.
But it's not just that, it's technology, all kinds of shit.
It is. It
No,
is.
I
It's
mean,
a different world. The
like,
hard
you know-
times, the technology, a whole changing
They say
climate.
it could be 50 years into the future with some of, especially the military, what's going on out there. But, you know, like, never in our lifetime, and especially with technology like this, you just can't figure this out. Why they can't find people when they have cell phones and GPSs everywhere. They can find us anytime they want.
Well, I don't want to find
A
out.
777 just disappears. They can't find it.
Well, I'm sure they know where it is now, but
They must know where it
it's
is.
going to embarrass countries and companies and
Whatever, yeah, it's got to be.
So
This
they
is now
got to
turned
know
into
where it
their-
is. If
this
they
is
don't
a
know where it is
9/11
by now,
scenario.
they're fucking retarded. All right, there's got to be so many pinging things going off.
There's some way deeper shit going to happen, I
There's way
think,
deeper shit.
that nobody wants to touch this
Right.
now.
Air piracy, state-sponsored air piracy.
Yeah, that
It's a
plane.
country. It's
That
military.
plane's going to be used for something real shitty.
Real shit.
Well, now that everybody's saying that, that's almost like you're sitting in a huddle in a football game.
Well, yeah, you're all-
and everybody in the other huddle's going, see the way the guy
Yeah,
his
yeah.
lips there, they're going to pull this play on us. Like, okay, go ahead and do it.
It is. It's like watching a chess game and trying to predict what moves
Go
the
ahead
next
and do
guy's
it.
going to make, but watching the whole world
I mean,
stage is like that every day.
This guy down in Florida outs the state police and the FBI up here in Connecticut. He's going to class action soon because he says he's lying.
Man, that's
People on the Alex Jones show outed the Boston bombing, showing the contractors with bags and not with them seconds after the bombing. The contractors, not the two guys running away. They said did it. Those guys were running with them.
Wow,
They got
see,
pictures of that.
I
too.
just thought of something awesome.
They're professional getting caught.
I just thought of something.
Pretty much.
Certain people you want to pull off the job, there's other people that you want to get chased and caught.
Right.
They were great for getting chased
They're
and
the
caught.
getting caught crew. You got that crew on? Yeah.
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
getting
good. We need them
caught.
there today. Make sure they're
The
there.
getting caught crew is there.
Dressed in nothing special, just your normal,
Getting caught shit.
normal.
I just
Life-ending stuff,
You know what I thought of? At first I thought, wow, this is nothing more than just a giant risk game, this whole world stage.
Charlton
right?
Heston.
But then I thought, see, I derailed his train good.
Yeah.
But then I thought, wow, what if somebody made a risk game, a risk type game, but you also had the internal shit happening, like all kinds of shit like that. People suing the government and factions of the, and made it a little more realistic. And then throw in the
what it would be
internet.
like, tell you how
Then
much fun
throw
that
in
would
U.S. losing control of the internet, ceding control
Guess how
of
much
it to
fun
a
that would
world
be.
body.
As much fun as living is now. That wouldn't be any fun. Nobody play that game because we got to play this other one. I read that.
No, because you would end
So
up.
that means some jackass in fucking Afghanistan is collecting all your emails and shit. Their country's got everything.
And then see
Right.
every year you could release an annual paid update that updates everything with what's happening in the news over the course. You do it once a month. What the fuck? Do it on an app on the
A lot of
phone,
people
99 cents a month
No, a lot
every
of
month.
people think-
You release an update that updates the internal situation according to the news as to what happened that month.
This
You make
thing's
a
going to
killer.
call the FBI unless I stop it.
Huh?
We stop this thing up.
Oh yeah,
No,
your phone.
I just
Yeah,
created
disable your phone.
Get it.
I just created a subversive,
I'm telling.
and that's what you do. You make the goal of the game.
Oh, pretty soon they're gonna
You
say
make
that.
the goal of the game
Steve.
to bring America
Stop
back
talking like
from
that. This is your president speaking.
crumbling. You make the goal of the game to bring America back from crumbling. Then you sell the data that you harvest through that game
A lot
to
of
the
people
GOP
think-
strategists.
See, America was always an illusion, but it's the illusion that we want.
Oh, I thought
We want to make the illusion.
Nah, screw
real.
that. Now I'm talking capitalism. I'm talking pure greed here. The things that made America great in the beginning, right before they got regulated.
Yeah, but they
This
came
would
up
be a
with bigger-
perfect game.
bigger
It's a
ties.
paid game, no fucking free, no ads, none of that shit. And you get monthly updates to update your internal, the entire global situation according to the last month's news. It's a 99 cent a month subscription. Subscription games. Nobody does it yet. This would be the thing that would do it. The goal to bring back America from crumbling. With everything that's going on, and you mine that data, and the people that succeed, you use that to build the strategy
An app.
that you then sell to the political strategists, who then shape the minds of the politicians, who the puppet maker,
How about
the puppet master.
an app that
You
says
sell that data
save
for
the world?
millions to the strategists. Hey, I've mined this, my method is perfect. The fucking people don't even know they're giving me this data. You mine it all through your games. All through an innocent little thing like Game Center.
And then you make a game based on what you just said.
That's what, the game is what sells it, what makes it happen.
Right.
Oh, then you make the game.
Another game, and
Yeah.
another game after that, making a game of the game that has already
Well, you can call the second
like
one,
looking into a mirror.
you can call the second one Puppet Master.
And you could call one Scrotum Master.
Did you speak
It'll
of
all be
scrotum?
about
Did
testicles
you
trying
see
to
the-
get back to
the-
his scrotum
Some guy had it.
for protection.
I might cut all that
Scrotum.
out and
100
just keep that for my own self.
132
I'll find
pounds
me a developer
guy
and
had.
code.
What?
132 pound scrotum.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank you.
uh,
Scrotum News. Yes.
Google that.
Balls to brains and
Yeah,
back. I'm
no.
gonna.
Google
I'm gonna
that.
Google 132
Scrotum.
pound scrotum. Yep.
Don't know, but they had to cut it off. It's 132 pounds.
It just
Google
kept growing.
132 pounds.
That's
scrotum.
exactly what I'm gonna
Tell
Google.
me, you think Putin has some balls? He's got
I typed in 132 and the first thing that comes up is 132 pound scrotum. You know it's
Gotcha, bro.
Wesley Warren Jr., man with 132 pound scrotum, dead at age 49, 21 hours.
They didn't get it out of him.
Yeah,
They couldn't.
yeah.
That's a lot of
They
scrotum.
found out that he was attached to his scrotum.
That guy, yeah, the scrotum
wasn't
grew a
attached
guy
to
out
him.
the side of it.
I'm gonna take the sensational one off.
No, because the,
TMZ.
was it yesterday it just happened, right? Because it was on Judge.
I didn't see it
Missed
in
that
Drudge.
one.
Yeah, they cut him apart and the scrotum tried to escape. And the guy just died, but the
You
scrotum.
know where he was going? Russia.
Where the rest of them are all going.
We had 2 heart
Scrotum
attacks in the
escaped
last
Russia.
couple weeks. Infections from diabetes, heart attacks. They suffered an extreme case of scrotal lymphedema. Funny but
That's something
sad.
we had to bring it to
Funny
a
but
lighter
sad.
place here, didn't we?
You know, you want to hear another good one that happened this week? You know, a couple weeks ago, they had a guy down in Kentucky who was like 78 years old.
Bill Martin.
They thought he was dead, and they had him in the body bag at the coroner's place, and he kicked his way out, 78
I heard
years
about
old.
this.
2 weeks ago, he died on Thursday.
Yeah, but they pronounced him dead, right?
Mm-hmm. And they brought him to the funeral home. They said, I think he's gone this time, his nephew, Eddie Hester, told the local television
This guy from
station.
Florida that's suing the Sandy Hook Police Department or whatever.
Yeah.
He said that every person inside the Sandy Hook school was pronounced dead 8 minutes after the shooting started. He said that's unheard of. They've never done that. And besides, it takes a doctor in Connecticut by law.
Yeah, I was going to say the math of that is impossible. 27 people.
As
in
far
it,
as
it
red
takes about
flags,
20 seconds of people.
Everything.
This is why he's coming here.
Everything was a red flag.
Everything. It wasn't anything normal.
Absolutely everything
Man.
that happened was a red flag.
I can't steer you guys into lightness for nothing. What if I say fuck, cunt, piss, tit, shit, blowhole?
Fucker and tits. That's
No. Is there any Chris
got sugar
Christie
in you?
news? I don't know,
any
maybe.
big fat news about a bridge. If he beats out Rand Paul, guess what?
What?
I'm moving to Montana.
No Chris Christie. You know, he's a pretty, cocky, arrogant kind of guy, right?
No.
He is.
Okay.
He's a big mouth.
He's a big mouth.
When you're as big as a planet, you expect shit to revolve around you.
There you go.
You know what else I've been wanting to say on this show? You know what else?
Let's put a
Listen,
name and a date on that.
Who is that for?
Chris Christie.
I hate that fat fuck. Him and Rob Ford, is he the fat fucking crackhead from...
I don't know though. He's funny,
Canada,
man.
right?
Yeah, but no, think of that fucking
Canadian
bulldog.
man.
Stomping his feet, getting ready to fuck... You made him mad. He's just like Christie. He's a big fucking...
Yeah,
fuck.
but we lost Chris
He's
Farley.
a fucking
so,
mayor.
You know, you need
He's
him.
a mayor of a town who puts people in jail for
You know,
smoking crack.
I used
And
to
then he
like,
smokes crack
remember
himself.
Belushi? He made his deer
Yeah.
trap people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Belushi, Chris Farley, you know, we need
Yeah,
another one
fine.
like
That
that.
doesn't mean that we can't hate the other fat people. Don't
Yeah,
give
but
them
I was
rights
so
to that.
I like having fat friends.
That's right. If they're okay. But if they're fat fucks, they're still fat fucks. Don't simplify everything.
Well,
Chris Christie's a
kind of
fat
not
fuck.
paying with a broad brush.
Chris Christie's a fat
You know
fuck.
something? I just thought of something.
How come
Most
nobody
of
in the
my fat
news...
friends are dead.
How
I'm
come...
thinking about that.
All right. How about nobody in the news ever
Isn't
said
there a
about
song by
the fucking crackhead from Canada?
Fat friends?
How come
Right,
no
yeah,
one...
yeah, yeah, but
Nobody
that's
in the
about
news ever
Yeah.
said, look it, this is a fucking mayor of fucking Toronto. He fucking smokes crack. And how come nobody in the news ever said, this guy puts people in jail for smoking crack, but it's okay for him to smoke crack?
Well, 'cause
he's
he's
a big
amusing.
fat fuck?
He's very amusing.
My point is, nobody in
Very
the fucking
amusing.
media ever said it. No one ever said the obvious. So there's little kids that are like 6 years old and 8 years old, and they're looking at the fucking news and they're going, he puts people in jail for smoking crack, Mommy, but he smokes crack. Oh, that doesn't matter, Junior. It's just whether or not we like him or not. He's a big, funny, fat fuck, so we like him, so it's okay. It's okay that he does, that nobody said on the news how much of a hypocrisy it was that he smokes crack, but he still puts people in jail for smoking crack. That's okay, Johnny. Go to sleep now. Get up tomorrow and be a good kid, okay? You're brain dead before you're 10 years old. All right? And every other fucking kid is too.
It's like,
Every other kid is too because of that. They're wondering, why didn't anybody say it?
the insane are now
Say it. Right, taking
running
over.
this island.
They're running.
Basically, everything you're saying was like it'd be something.
I had
you
to
never would have
struggle
said in
to
the
get
50s,
out.
You wouldn't have had this.
Because I know
You never
nobody
would have
cares. I know you don't care. I had to struggle
We've
to get
seen
that
the
out.
cycle change.
Change completely.
Because, like, look at the 50s. Look at think about
180
Andy
degrees.
Griffith show or something. You know, rocking down, and then Andy, everybody at the
Yeah,
gas
now would
station.
it be, how come Andy wasn't diddling with little fucking diddling little fucking nuts there, fucking Ron Howard. Before it was, you know, good thing Andy was a good man and he didn't fucking diddle his nuts. Now it would be, how come Andy wasn't diddling his nuts? Isn't he gay? You trying to say that Andy, it was not gay? Well, I don't think there's nothing patriotic about that. You mean he wasn't fucking diddling fucking little Ronnie Howard's nuts?
This is why you kind of like Russia, right?
Well,
Because they're
at
not
least they're still fucking human beings.
They're holding it back.
I
That's
wish I could show the smirk I'm wearing now. Because I've been going through old shows and listening to it, I've ranted about every single thing he's ranted about how America's not like that anymore and all this. And
we're talking about Barney.
And what I was going to do, see, I could link this to a whole bunch of old shows, but what I would rather do is link it back to the beginning of the show. And you ask, how come nobody says anything about this? And I'll say what I said before. Charisma is a dangerous thing.
Right. Very, very well said, Tony. You really made a point there.
That's why nobody picks on him. His particular charisma happens to be that he's a guy you can laugh at. He's amusing. Late night comics around
He'll
the
shut
world.
down your fucking bridge, make you shit in your pants in your own fucking car.
Chris Christie.
And hey, that's okay.
Chris Christie's charisma kind of stems from his balls, though. The fact that he is a bit arrogant, that he's, you know, a take no shit kind of guy, or he portrays himself that way.
He's like a little doughboy. He pouts like a little frickin' 4-year-old little.
Imagine having to be the guy who weighed the sack. That's big. How big do you think it really
Imagine
is?
be the guy who had to catch the sack and was trying to escape.
Don't be carrying over there.
That's good. You overcame your ADD. Right? Stick with that nutsack.
132 pounds.
Oh, that's gotta go.
You know,
the best.
I wonder.
Started fucking talking sack. Hey.
I wonder what happens if you Google odd body parts. This has to be
I
more.
was just thinking about, like, when you Googled 132, you got the sack right away. Like, wow, I remembered it by that number. Then I'm thinking,
Lost 102.
And I'm going to link it back to the beginning of the show. See how dangerous a little girl is, man. 132-pound nutsack.
and
That's
then I
that guy.
started just thinking about the logistics of this. Oh, God, they don't want to.
You know, I'm sorry.
He's gonna lose his weight.
I'm
Is he
sorry.
gonna lose his charisma?
I'm sorry the guy has died. No, I'm back to the nutsack guy now. But did he have, like, people bowing to him and shit? I would. Saw a guy with nuts that big walking down the street. You seen the picture of him? They were hanging. He had like to have like an extra leg on his pants for the nutsack. Right? It was all fluid
I'll
filled.
tell you what, man. That must have been hell living like that because when I was a kid,
Oh,
one
man.
of my nuts got infected.
Oh man.
Killed, man. You couldn't walk.
Oh.
Like antibiotics.
When you went over a bump and slid off the bicycle seat.
Everybody, you know what, too?
Whoa.
When you were a kid at 14 years old,
You
you
fucked-
didn't tell people your nuts were infected. You said, I hurt my leg.
Yeah,
How come
yeah.
you're limping? I hurt my leg. Oh.
Yeah.
My balls.
It's my
shaking and
balls.
fucking.
You know,
I know more
this
about
more of
balls.
this balls talk reminds me. I got to take something back. I said on the way.
When you
old
said
show.
balls, I just see like the flash over your head, like some kind of like.
That was
Balls.
an
Balls
angelic
in your brain.
testicle.
I think it was angelic.
It was an angelic testicle.
No, you know what it is? We're in one of my areas of expertise.
Yeah.
I shine when we're talking
Yeah,
balls.
That was the light bulb coming on.
I used to always had
What do you
to
wanna know?
talk about balls on every show, whether it was dogs' balls,
Average
my
size?
balls. And
Oh.
one of the things I said was I
8.7
would
grams.
give up one of my testicles to save both of my dog's testicles because we were talking about your dog and how they wanted to
Spanning
name
the
your
globe.
dog. And
It was
I
the
have to
constant
say,
variety in testicles.
I take that back now. I don't give up one of my testicles for nothing. You know?
Not even for Charlton.
I'll fight for not even for Charlton.
now that
Heston.
you know.
Yeah, I say I'd
Damn dirty
I say I'd give my left nut to sleep with her.
No way.
There ain't no broad worth giving up my left nut for. No. Me and my nuts have become after all these years. We've
But after
become
that, you're not going to want babes.
yeah.
You're going to take your nut.
Nah, if you kept one, you still.
Half as much.
I can't believe that Chris Christie or Rob Ford exist in this day and age. I can't,
No,
I
this
can't
is their
believe
time.
that two
We're in their
frat-
time.
They have balls. They
They
have
do.
balls. And see, with
They
lack
still
of
have balls.
with so many people with lack of balls, the slight glimmer of a little manliness
Testicles.
stands
Nothing
out
manly
and
about
manifests
those guys.
itself
They're
as
just fat
charisma.
fucks.
If you're going to be serious, I'll be
Chris
serious.
Christie ain't
in the
manly.
We're scoring 7 years
It
ago.
He's a
manifests
fat fuck. He ain't manly.
with so the scale has changed. The scale has changed what's manly and what's not manly anymore. Now just using your big fat mouth becomes a
You know,
ballsy
I heard
thing.
people talking about Chris Christie as a presidential candidate in terms of he's acceptable to liberals, and he still says he's a conservative. So he's a wonderful candidate.
You sound a little Irish today.
You know,
And it's St. Patty. That's the one thing
it
we
is.
forgot to
It's-
say.
it's
It's
St.
St.
Patty's
Patty's
Day.
Day, and as we know,
I'm a quarter Irish and I don't have a damn thing green on.
I
Saint-
don't either. I'm green.
Let me-
Oh, I got my boots.
I'm gonna pick my
St.
nose and
Patrick-
wipe it on my jacket.
That's green.
So,
Yeah,
St.
there you
Patrick
go.
was an Italian.
you're wearing
He was
orange,
a Roman
man.
soldier.
I know.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm leprechaun.
yeah. He's
And-
a rebel.
and-
No, this is green, Toad. I got green on my boots.
Yeah, you got green on
Oh,
your
I'm the
boots.
only one with green on.
I got green on the bottom of my
You got a little
boots.
green thing?
I got green on the bottom of my boots. I dumped probably 3 or 4 barrels of green shit.
Today at St. Patty's Day, let's remember the greatest saint of all time, the one who gave us the right to get sloppy drunk and love every minute of it. St. Patty, a man's man, a man's saint, an Irish saint, not pussy-ass fucking saint.
You know, I had a young kid the other day say to my wife, a teenager, say to my wife, he said, well, banks and everything are closed tomorrow, right? It's a holiday. St. Patrick's Day.
It ain't.
It ain't. No, it's a second-class holiday. Yeah, they've been doing that to the Irish and the Italians since they came over. Kick them
Yeah,
in.
if you want to
But
say
know,
that, I mean, it is a second-class. There's
What-
no Martin Luther
Yeah,
King
yeah.
Jr. Day.
when
Even
the
President's
Irish,
Day, they close freaking.
you know why? When the Irish and the Italians came over here, they integrated. That integration was mistakenly accepted as a form of submission. They
Really.
didn't submit. They maintained their cultures, and that's a classic, two classic.
Well, they maintained their cultures and they merged and they formed
Exactly.
the greatest 1-2 punch of organized crime that the country has ever known.
See, so they contributed to American
With
society.
the Jews on the outside. Because they just won't. They just don't want to fuck.
I got a squirt.
Boy, I'm hungry.
I guess.
I am hungry.
See ya.
Anyway, I guess this is the end of It's High Time We Talked. and,
Yeah, I'm hungry.
We'll see you next show. Have a nice day.
Whenever.
Play our outro song here. This is where the
Okay.
outro song goes.
Well, what are we gonna put?
I don't know yet.
All right.
You're going to have to press end.
Yeah.